Hey everyone, so before we get into this issue, controversy, whatever you want to call it, I do want to put this disclaimer that he has already addressed and removed the AI thumbnail generator that we're going to be talking about today, but I think everything else within this video is still very relevant, so I do want to keep the rest of the video the same and just put this disclaimer in the beginning to make sure you guys know that he has at least addressed the controversy and gotten rid of the generator. And I also do want to say everything within this, if it comes to legality of this, is alleged. I'm not saying that he has committed any crimes. I am just saying the legality of these generators and their scraping is definitely questionable and should be looked into the future. But I hope you enjoy. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, set arguing, and to YouTube, and I will see you in the video. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I want to cover the current situation going on with MrBeast, view stats, and the AI thumbnail scandal, controversy, whatever you want to call it, thing currently happening. So, for those of you who don't know, I'm going to quickly summarize what's been going on. Basically, MrBeast created this website similar to a social blade called View Stats, where you can, it basically does the exact same thing as Social Blade, except it's a lot more up to date than Social Blade, especially with like the dislikes getting taken away and stuff like that, and the watch time versus the views, that has changed a lot of the income and stuff like that, so it's changed a lot more, and View Stats is more up to date with this algorithm, making it more better. I don't know how to say it. It's a more modern version of it, making it more better for the current landscape, especially when it comes to YouTube. And this site is fine, perfectly covered under, I guess, technically fair use, but because it's all public information and a lot of it's guesstimation when it comes to its analytics, it kind of scrapes what it can, but it is not taking any of it and repurposing it like an AI, and violating copyrights like this AI generator is doing. Now, let me explain what it's doing. Basically, he came out with a video a few days ago and having me recording this, where you basically, his main thing was, I have 300, 500 employees, whatever, and I want to be able to give the little guy a heads up, so we're gonna create a algorithm approved basically thumbnails, which I think in a way could be a good thing, but what it's doing to do this, it is scraping all of YouTube's thumbnails and making it to where you can basically make the algorithmically best thumbnail based off of some keywords, which is very questionable, but definitely towing the line, if not crossing it, of fair use. But then you have a whole other issue of being able to upload and use other people's thumbnails and editing it slightly and being able to use the new edited thumbnail, which they use the example of an F1 thumbnail and changing the F1 car to a minivan, which in a way isn't that bad in my opinion, but it is definitely towing the line of fair use and transformative and stuff like that. And even if you just change it a little bit by they have an example of taking a thumbnail and adding your face to it, as in like it will literally modify your face on top of someone else's face to make it look like you. That is just so dystopian. I hate it. I don't know how else to say it. It's just like, this is the most stupid thing ever. And so I'm so upset by this. And everyone hates it. And it looks like that Jimmy, MrBeast, whatever I call him, has been receptive to a lot of these criticisms, which is great. I do love that he is at least being cautious of these criticisms. I did pull up an article I do want to discuss today as well. We have from Fast Company, MrBeast used AI to create YouTube thumbnails. People were not pleased. And it just talks about how he's this big person. His business is estimated over $1 billion. A lot of money. Most of it an organic creator ever. Good for him. Love it. But what I think people don't talk about exactly is, and it was talked about a lot a few years ago, but bringing back to this now, I don't think people realize how much the MrBeastification of YouTube is affecting a lot of this, because he was able to tweak the algorithm so much with his content, and I don't think he did anything malicious or anything like that, I'm not saying that, but he was able to use his content and be able to boost his algorithm so much. He kind of thinks he knows, like, I guess, like a cheat for it would be the best way to do it, and there were so many people copying his styles, and it's like, wouldn't you want people to be able to make their own thing? I don't know, but people are basically going off on him, being like, F this, screw this, this is stupid. And he posted and quickly acknowledged concerns by saying, I'll build this more in a way to be an inspiration for artists and a tool they use, not replace them. Which, with this certain tool, as it is right now, isn't doing that at all. And definitely is just crazy. It's really funny because all of this is against copyright, and I just don't know if he doesn't know that, or if because all of this is in such a gray area right now. And there's also been the recent lawsuit with Disney, which I do also want to cover. I just haven't had a chance to get a hold of it and like actually fully read the lawsuit yet. But it is just absolutely crazy. I really hope that he realizes everything that's going on. But what I do like is they get academia's perspective in here instead of just YouTubers being like you. They get someone named Jess Maddox, who is an associate professor at the University of Alabama, who studies platform dynamics. And they say, I think several things are going on here. Primarily, Maddox believes that underlying the controversy is good old-fashioned YouTube drama. I wouldn't really say that, but okay. YouTube pioneered online pylon culture, in which case everyone wants a piece of someone's name, image, or likeness. But it's actually quite hard to go after MrBeast, who's one of the biggest, he is the biggest, and most successful creators. He's almost too big to fail, or ride his coattails. Okay, I don't really agree with that per se, but let's keep on going here. AI in the creator economy is incredibly controversial right now. Many view it as theft, and others view it as I can't talk today apparently, and others creators view not using it as a badge of honor, and they pride either to work itself or pay your team fairly to do so. I constantly toe this line because I think AI can be a good tool if used ethically in practice and in making it as well, I guess I should say. Because if, with machine learning and stuff like that, as long as you have good data going into it, there's a solid chance good data will come out of it. Especially, the issue is a lot of these companies aren't disclosing what data is going into it, nor are they disclosing what is happening in the middle. All you see is what's coming out of it, which, to be fair, you don't really want to disclose what's in the beginning, because then you're giving all your competitive edge. But you shouldn't have to worry about competitive edge. But anyway, I digress. It's so interesting that people, like, it's this big thing of people being, like, anti-AI, especially when it comes to the creator space. And I see why, because if AI can just do your job, then your job is kind of not super important, but also people deserve jobs. They deserve, the ability to be creative, which I think is why if you use it ethically and it's built ethically, you don't have to worry about those two things. But anyway, I digress. They talk about there was a recent survey of UK YouTube creators that suggests 4 in 5 creators are already using AI themselves, saving nearly 8 hours of work each week. Oh, using Google's VO3 video generation? For me, when it comes to that mildly bothers me, unless you're using it exclusively for like B-roll. Because like, let's say I need a certain B-roll of someone in a cafe holding a drink and I need it to go a certain way. That I can kind of make sense of. Otherwise, I just don't see the point. The combination of factors help explain why his criticism has been held so strong and so sustained. MrBeast clearly has enough money to pay for his work, so the fact that he doesn't paint him in the most light Maddox says. The idea that such AI systems might worsen existing problems is also top of mind. If the YouTube's biggest creator is out there using AI, I think many creators are nervous this will unfairly exacerbate that will divide big creators and mega creators. Never mind the divide between those and micro and nano creators. AI is a labor issue and a risk, making an already unequal creator economy even more unequal. AI is here to stay and can be a subserved tool to level creators up and allow further democratization of the creator economy. He says, I'm building businesses to use it, but I believe it has to be developed with creators, not just deployed on them. I think that's fair. Though I must say you have the whole issue of just what is the line between a creative hobby and these massive corporations. I mean, to be fair to Jimmy, he's already using CGI in many videos. That was proven through some of his stuff with whatever the disgruntled employee that there was that whole thing with last year was. You have that whole issue right there. And especially since most of these small creators don't have access to that, is that saying that technically now we need to be able to decrease the price to use CGI so then everyone can use it. Like, I don't know, there's some of these things, AI, especially when it comes to that type of thing, when it comes to copyrighted things. Like I said, I don't mind if it is a few seconds in a video, whatever, but when it comes to these constant, like, TikToks, YouTube Shorts, everyone call them, who are just doing AI voices over a script that was either written by AI or was scraped off the internet, and the footage probably isn't even theirs. It's just, it's crazy out here. Well, I do want to know your opinion on this, but also I do want to add, I did look up through the YouTube terms of service because I wanted to make sure I was right when it comes to the community guidelines as well as terms of service, all of the rules, policies, everything like that. And it's very interesting how YouTube works because I don't think much people look into this very often. So what it is basically is by uploading a YouTube video, you are giving YouTube a license to distribute the video. And it has to be done however you want. But you are still the ultimate copyright holder. You are not giving up any rights when it comes to that. And that goes the same to the thumbnails. And I don't think people fully realize that, but also you have the whole issue of making, like, it's, like, this is, if I'm so curious, because, so there's been lawsuits and stuff like that about scraping various things, such as, like, LinkedIn profiles, as an example. Since LinkedIn is a public website, similar to Facebook or whatever, they can technically scrape that data for free, and scrape the open public data, scrape it, and use it as they will. But when it comes to this, it's copyrighted. And I don't think everyone's fully realized what that means yet. And it also means your personal data is not copyrightable. Have fun with that. But these creative works are. And so I'm curious. It's not videos, which is nice, but these thumbnails is what I'm really worried about. And so I'm curious what's going to happen with precedent with this. And I don't know, it'll be very interesting bit, but I think there was enough heat on this. It won't go out as is, or at least I hope not. Though I'm very interested in what you think. But until next time, I hope you guys did enjoy. Make sure you do all the YouTube things down below, and I shall see you next time. Bye, guys.